I'll screen share. Hey, Michelle.
Okay, okay. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. We are very, very excited. We have a very special guest with us today. Julie Tara is coming to us from Boulder, Colorado, but she originated in England, actually. And we're going to hear her story, and she's going to help us understand what we're talking about today. We're going to discuss and discover what we call active wellness and living a life in balance. Can you advance?
I'm trying here. The next slide should be going. And for whatever reason, it isn't. Oh my goodness, Michelle. I'm clicking. Okay. You want to try from your end? Can you try?
No, you're sharing the screen, Madeline.
Okay, and it's not letting me exit the screen either. Oh my goodness. Why would we freeze up right now?
It's okay, don't panic.
I'm not panicked.
I'll go on, and as you figure it, there we go.
There we go.
Okay. When we have a look at our daily choices and habits that we do on a daily basis, it does determine the quality of our life. And it definitely is a choice that we make. We can choose to create those habits, and it is a matter of creating a habit. It just doesn't happen overnight. I'm told anywhere between 21 and 28 days to create a habit. But when we make our choices, our habit, we can either compound our life and our health and our well-being upwards, and what we call a human's being more. We become healthier, we become stronger, we become more vibrant, and that's by choice. Now, on the other hand, we can make choices where we become humans under stress or very distressed, where we make choices on a daily basis that kind of affects our health and our well-being. And we become, I'm sure many people have seen people who look very unhappy, who look very sad, who look very unhealthy. Those are from the choices that they've made in their life. And we call that humans under stress. It is a lifestyle choice. And we truly believe that small little choices and changes that we can make on a daily basis over consistency and time can create radical differences.
Health facts. There's something called body burden. And Julie, I would like to call upon you here. I am Madeline Zaworski from Lorain, Ohio. I've been a nurse for over 50 years. So these kind of risk factors, stress, I was pretty stressed when I discovered Nikken, and I'm so grateful that Nikken discovered me, is the major risk factor that we can do something about. Sleep. 70% of Americans, and that's true for more people around the world, have sleep issues. One night of not having enough sleep drops your immune system 60% immediately. I know in the past 50 years, the incidence of all disease has increased exponentially and is epidemic. Our air pollution, it's almost safer to be outside than it is inside because of outgassing and water. So we have a very special guest tonight, Royal Diamond, Julie Tara, who's an energy healer and the only woman to made all the way to the top in Nikken in a record 4-year period, and has won all the awards. So Julie, since we have you on tonight, even though you're going to share your story at the end, I know you're an expert in how body burden impacts our energy field. Could you speak to these briefly on this slide as well?
Well, absolutely. I'm so delighted to be with you all, and thanks for inviting me on. And my passion has been energy medicine since my early 20s, after my first career in ballet. And the reason for that was seeing the body burden with my own mother and what happened with her, and then what happened with Western medical viewpoints, which was basically a lot of surgeries and a lot of pharmaceutical drugs. And the route that took her on in Cambridge, England was not a good route. And so I just devoted my life to helping people naturally with keeping really healthy and strong. And there's a lot of emphasis on exercise, of course, these days, and a lot of emphasis on nutrition. The big thing I want to say about this particular slide here is that nutrition is a lot more than what we just eat or drink. It's much vaster than that. And there's a tremendous amount of nutrients that come from nature that we need, that we haven't been taught about, but that the Asians have understood for many, many years. And that's one of the reasons I love working with our technologies, is because it's this understanding of working with nature, air, water, with sleep, with Earth's magnetic fields, with solar energy, atmospheric energy. And this is all the understanding of epigenetics. And epigenetics is very important, that to understand that genes morph according to the environment that they are in. And if they're in a healthy environment, nutritionally, which is, again, much more than what we just eat and drink, it's much more about the nutrition we're taking in from nature itself or not, that makes a massive impactful difference in our health every single day and every single night. So we can take care of this body burden issue.
And what have you discovered for the hydration level of most people?
It's really pitiful. Most people just don't drink water. I have some water right here, right next to me. We've got to be drinking more, but we don't want to tax the kidneys either. And we don't want to tax it with bad water. We want the proper kind of water, which is microstructured alkaline water, which is very, very, very different from most water that you buy in a bottle, or which is a tremendous environmental hazard itself, or water that you can get out of the tap. So we have to really understand the distinctions around quality of water. So it's not just quantity. Quality is that much more important even than quantity.
We have a slide a little later, Julie, on specifically the solution we have to offer. But these health trends, I have an article from our local newspaper, which has the obesity globally, not just childhood obesity, but globally. It's not just in North America that we have the poor being terribly obese, both children and adults, but globally it's become a trend. I remember in your story that you started as a young single parent with children that you were raising, and might you again address that period of time from when you started in Nikken and the issue that this is with children being our future?
Well, I'm very concerned about the children. In fact, it's always one of my huge passions is children's health. And I wasn't a single mom. I was married, but I had 3 children and I was the primary caretaker of them. So it was very important for me to keep my kids healthy. And this trend right now that's happening is extremely alarming. It's not just obesity, that there are many other things, as we see, high allergens in the air is creating a lot of allergies, and just many other things, plethora, skin problems, eczema, and so forth. Kids mentally, unfocused and emotionally depressed. There's a tremendous amount of teen suicide going on right now. It's extremely distressing. So there are absolute reasons for this. Absolutely. Most are sitting way too much. They're not exercising enough. They're not outside enough. The school systems change. They keep cutting out certain things, particularly physical activity, and also right brain activities like music and movement and stuff, and just making it all about, math and history and so forth. And it's really impacting these kids dramatically on so many levels. The obesity issue has a lot to do with, obviously, with diet, bad dietary choices, and it's about educating the parents, particularly the mothers, because they're the ones who are really, creating good meals for their kids or not, or using microwave foods. You use a microwave, the body can't even understand what it's getting. It can't even recognize that molecular structure. That in and of itself is disaster, not to mention fast foods. But there are other reasons too. EMF frequencies will affect sleep. And so many kids just are not sleeping because of these frequencies. So turning the Wi-Fi off at night, putting a cell phone in another room, not using it, not sleeping with an iPad under your pillow, with music going on. These things are very important to educate. So, education is the answer. We really, really have to focus in on these children. This is our future, the future of the world.
Absolutely.
So we need to help them be healthy and strong on all levels, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally and spiritually also.
Thank you so much. Michelle, this is your slide.
Thank you. And I must apologize. I did neglect to introduce myself. My name is Michelle Kowalczyk. I am from Dauphin, Manitoba. And what is really, really cool about how we're doing this is I'm coming to you from Dauphin, Manitoba. Madeline is from Lorain, Ohio, and Julie is from Boulder, Colorado. And yet we work very close as a very tight-knitted team, offering solutions. And the big solution, what we believe it to be the answer, is to become a human's being more, is to make those daily choices to become actively well, to actually do things that maybe you don't think that you're able to do. Maybe there's something preventing you physically from becoming a little bit more active. Maybe we could prevent or offer a solution that could help you deal with whatever issue that you're dealing with, so that maybe you can get out and have a walk. Maybe you can take the stairs instead of the elevator. As a matter of fact, I helped a man who has had a major transformation in his health by making small little choices on a daily basis, that he no longer needs to take the elevator. He can actually use the stairs, which is very, very empowering for him. What we're talking about here is Nikken and a holistic approach to life. Nikken follows a philosophy of living a life in balance and finding balance in all 5 key areas: healthy body, mind, family, society, and finances. When I was first introduced to Nikken, I was dealing with a lot of body issues. I was dealing with head discomfort that was absolutely controlling my life. I was on a lot of prescription drugs because I didn't know any other way to deal with the discomfort. And when I had exhausted all of that, I was then taking over-the-counter drugs to cope with this discomfort. It was absolutely controlling my life. I couldn't stand any light. I couldn't stand any noise. And I was taking as much as 12 Tylenol in a 4-hour period. And I was very, very blessed. Now, at the time, I didn't realize it, that one of my customers at the bank that I was working at offered me a solution that he thought could help me. And it happened to be a little magnetic necklace. And I thought he was off his rocker. I was encouraged by a coworker to please give it a try. And when I did, within a week, my youngest daughter asked me to please buy it, because she said, "Mommy, you're happy." I invested in that necklace, and back then it was a lot more money than what it is now. And within 3 months, I was drug-free. I haven't looked back. It's been over 17 years. Needless to say, I found a passion that I became very, very focused on, and that's to help others achieve a better quality of life. I don't know where I would be today had I kept going down and being a human's under stress. I don't know where I would be. But when I look at my life 16, 17 years later, I do believe that I have made the right choice. We choose the active wellness, the Nikken approach, the Nikken advantage of finding this balance, of creating a wellness atmosphere within where we live and where we work. And that's taking the critical elements of life. And we kind of touched base on that at the beginning. The air we breathe, the sleep that we get or don't get, the water that we drink or don't drink, the food that we eat or not eat, the exposure to the natural energies of the sun, the earth, and the wind. And that's what we do, is we create healthy environment. And Madeline, I will let you talk about these products that make such a huge impact in the environment that we live.
Well, I'd like to defer to Julie. We have, our products are all about energy, about science replicating nature. And since we have this very special guest tonight, Julie, please pick up and take it from here, our product categories, and again, integrate your story and your great knowledge. Let the audience know we have lots of new guests on tonight, new consultants. We're in several different homes with more people, so please.
Okay, I'll go for it. Thank you. Well, just to go back, for a second to that philosophy, I think that's a wonderful philosophy. It's something that really got me very excited about Nikken, was that balance, the idea of a balanced life. I think it's a very healthy, very simple philosophy, but very profound and very difficult. Most people don't have that. And so that was hugely intriguing to me when I started. And then to find these technologies now. So, when I started it, we really just had mostly magnetic technologies. And so, of course, having a background in energy medicine, I thought I would know about that, but I didn't. I had to learn about it like everybody else. And it is just phenomenal what happens for the human energy system when you give it back nature. We are made of energy. There's a famous book called The Body Electric by Dr. Robert Becker, where he really teaches about how we are an electrical system. And just like your car has a battery and needs the right kind of battery fluid to run the battery, to run the car, we also need the right kind of fluids and the right kind of energy to run us, for every life form on this planet. So magnetics is a big part because that's the Earth's natural field, and it's there for everyone, and it nurtures all life forms. And if we didn't have it, we'd all be dead within about 10 days. And that's a pretty sobering thought. And so we need to learn from that when the first astronauts went into space, they got very, very, very sick. And it was because they left the magnetic field of this planet. And now they take the magnetic field generators up into space so that they have it with them all the time, because we need that. Just like we need good oxygen and we need good water and all the other things, we can't live without it. So people say, could you get addicted to a magnetic field? And I'm like, well, are you addicted to oxygen? It depends how you view that. I would say, yes, I'm addicted to oxygen. Without it, I would not be here.
I know you have a history in ballet. So with the kind of injuries that you might have sustained and this many years later, can you talk about those healing properties of restoration and where you are today as a result of using?
Yeah, absolutely. What's so lovely about these technologies is we say it's not that it's going to heal you, is you give the body back what it needs, the body, mind, the energy system, and it will heal itself. And that's a really fascinating and very true thing. So yeah, I had an injury from ballet. It wasn't terrible, but it was a problem. And it was in my low back. And I didn't like sitting for long periods of time. Like many other people out there in the world, 8 out of 10 people have back issues. It would hurt like somebody was stabbing me in the low back if I sat for long periods of time in a car, in a theater, in a lecture, or so forth. And I used this magnetic product, an earlier version of this product right here called the Mag Flex, and without any belief in it. In fact, I didn't even want it to work. And it worked on my body. Within about 10 minutes, I went from agony to feeling totally fine, totally great. And I was so astonished because my mind didn't want it to work, but my body was saying, there's something really happening here. And I was very, very, very excited. And I first thought of all the dancers I know who need hip replacements and name knee replacements.
What am I supposed to do? Hold on.
Excuse me. Could the participants please mute yourself? Please mute yourself if you're not the speaker.
Maybe a couple of inches below.
Michelle, you have to help me with her.
Linda, could you please mute your line?
I'm not able to for whatever reason here. Thank you. I'm sorry, Julie.
Oh, it's fine.
Go ahead.
So that's what started my quest of understanding, and then wanting to really share that with other people, and then the development of the solar technology. So we need earth energy, we need certain frequencies from the sun that are as critical for life as anything else. We cannot live without them. We couldn't live without the sun. We realize that, but there are certain frequencies that are very important. And we need them, and Nikken employs those in bioceramic materials. So it's so clever that they're working with nature. And then, we have the wind, as Michelle mentioned, the wonderful activity that happens, before a thunderstorm and after a thunderstorm, even more actually, and how everything becomes bright and lively and calm and yet exhilarating. And we work with that technology of air and, of course, water. Water is a huge, huge thing. We are 80% water. The brain is up to 90% water. And so if we were just drinking the right kind of water, we could handle so many issues. There are many books like Your Body's Many Cries for Water by Batmanjali, who was vilified in his time for his thrust around water and what water could do for the body. And yet now we see it as self-evident. Of course we need water, And then what I've loved about working with Nikken over this time period is that they keep getting better and better and better with, full spectrum lighting, with shower heads that we never had before to give us that really good water so we're not, taking in chloromazine gases and so forth, which are carcinogenic. These are simple things, but very profound. You shower every day. Some of you maybe twice a day, morning and night. You don't want those kind of gases in your shower. So we have a beautiful shower system there. We have nutritionals, and they have gotten better and better and better over time, all organic. It's so beautiful, kosher, vegan, and non-GMOs, of course, which is a massive issue, the GMO issue right now. So Nikken is impeccable in its studying and choosing the right ingredients for our nutritional technologies. Now, I am very proud of what they've been doing. They've got a new weight management program that is outstanding, because we have such an issue with weight problems and obesity in America right now and in the world, as you were saying. And then, of course, skincare, organic, pure skincare. You know, nobody realizes how much problem we have with putting chemicals on our skin. And again, we do it every day, especially women. We're putting things on our bodies and our faces every single day. We better be using clean organics for that work. So it's a wonderful spectrum of products that we have, a really holistic whole idea of active wellness on all accounts. There is no one silver bullet. There is no one silver bullet that's going to do everything for you. That is a fantasy. We need good food, good exercise, good sleep, and all these things that we're utilizing here to stay healthy every single day. So I love that. It's so comprehensive.
Julie, this slide here, let's begin your new success story. You have had an amazing success story, and every business has its growth and peaks and valleys. And what's your vision from having reached the top and never left, and why everybody that's listening, because we have many new people and those that are renewing, what would you say about this slide?
Well, my personal truth around this is that we haven't hardly begun with Nikken. Our market penetration is 0.25%. And if you ask anybody, how are you doing today? The first thing you're going to hear out of their mouth is, I'm tired. I didn't sleep well last night. My knee hurts. My head aches. You know, I've got a skin thing. I'm mentally fried. I'm emotionally depressed. I mean, you know, we hear health issues all the time. So it is a burgeoning growth area is alternative. People are sick and tired of taking pharmaceutical drugs and being told you're just going to have to look at this issue. So people are really looking. They want something that can do. So what we have here is getting a lot of feedback.
We need the people to to mute yourself if you're not the speaker. I'm having difficulty with the control, and I'm not sure why. So if everybody would just please mute.
Okay.
Please proceed, Julie.
Lost my point. It's all right. Basically,
it's not letting me do it, Michelle. As I tried to push on it, it is absolutely not letting me manage the participants. If I mute them all, I'm going to mute Julie as well. And I'm not able to see the screen.
Okay, how is that?
Now, have Julie talk. Can we hear her talk now with me muting them all? See, I need to find Julie to unmute her, and this is really tough.
Can you mute yourself, Madeline?
And Julie, would you unmute yourself, please?
Got it. Okay, here we go. All right, super. So the thing to understand, can you hear me? Yep. The thing to understand is when you're looking at business, you're looking at the economy, you've got to look at what's growing and what's not growing. Now, what is growing hugely is alternative healthcare. But in that sector, what people want are things that are convenient. So what we have here are things that are non-invasive and non-chemical. They're really easy to use, easy to implement, easy to integrate into a busy life. That is massive, that convenience factor. They're priced to sell. They're very, very fairly priced. And they're priced for profit so that you can make money also. So what Nikken has done is created this hybrid model now where you have the retailing side of it, where you can have your online website, your online shop. So we have the sort of Amazon of wellness. with a very comprehensive product line. And like I say, it's never going to be one silver bullet. Who would want to work with one product? I will not, because that is not ethical and truthful in my opinion, because no one thing is going to do it. So I love that it's really comprehensive. It's a very important point. So you have your retail part, you've got your website, you send people there, they can buy things, and you'll see that happening more and more as you put Facebook posts and use social media. And that's a wonderful aspect of it, because people are buying online and they like it, and that's great. But then there's the other side of it, which is the collaborative entrepreneurship. That's the networking side. And if you realize that we are 1/4 of 1% of market penetration, and yet everybody needs what we have, and they would want what we have if they understand what we have, then our job is to really get out there and educate the populace. It is not so much about trying to sell somebody something. I never focus on that at all. It is about educating people about the critical importance of the dangers we are facing, which are mainly GMOs, chemicals, indoor living constantly, and EMF frequencies, which I think are the most scary and ubiquitous. And if you do some reading on that on your own, I'm going to encourage you to do it. And how do you get away from those issues? You know, so we are teaching people to fortify, protect themselves by using nature. It's so simple. It's just marriage to nature must happen for you to stay healthy. And we have a divorce going on. So we need to remarry nature. That is our conversation. And the question is, how do we get it out there? How do we get it out there fast? And how to let people know really how critical this is for not only themselves, but their parents, their children, grandchildren, and everyone. So people deserve that. And they deserve to have a business that can create true freedom in their life. And that takes time to build. A network takes time to build, but the faster you move, the more momentum you create, the better you do. And the bigger the network, the bigger your income, the more you have freedom. So it's not just about making money for money's sake. Who does want to spend their life just doing something for money alone? That is not, people who do that are not usually very happy people. Would you agree? I mean, they're not fulfilled. You want to do something daily that's extremely fulfilling, but you want to be paid well for it. And women right now, women entrepreneurs are rising hand over fist over everybody. If you study some of the Forbes information and so forth, it's incredible how women are starting new businesses constantly now and doing very, very, very well. Look at the woman who developed Spanx, for instance. You know, she's a multi-billionaire now. She's incredible. It's exciting. So women, it's our time. It's our time to rise. And so all we have to do is really get out there. And the most powerful form of advertising of any kind is word of mouth. It's word of mouth. People trust you, you know, so long as you don't overwhelm them with too much information. They trust you to teach them. And that is what we do. In fact, female teachers make the very best networkers ever. Female teachers. I just got off a 3-way phone call today with Kimball, who just went gold, and with a teacher, a retired teacher. And I said, you know, female teachers, they do the best. She said, I'm not good at selling. I said, that's really good. You don't have to be good at selling. You don't, salespeople do very poorly in our business. Those who love to educate and care for others will do very, very well, so long as they're out there sharing the message and listening to others. So it's a beautiful model, and this collaborative entrepreneurship is exciting because the only way you can reach your goals is by helping others reach their goals. And that is thrilling, especially for women. I come from a very competitive background in ballet, and I hated it. I did not do well with that. I am not a competitive person. I don't like to compete with anyone, except maybe myself. I like to see how good I can become and get better at what I do, you know, but I don't like competing with others. It just doesn't interest me at all. And so to have a business like this where I can cooperate with others and help them grow, and then grow also as a byproduct of that, if you will, from the business standpoint, that is for me the perfect model of a game that's worth playing. So this game is really, really worth playing. And we have got to change the paradigm. We are the disruptors of the sick care industry.
I love that.
Industry, yeah. The sick care industry is like, it's immoral what is happening out there, putting children of 3 years old on you know, Adderall and, you know, Ritalin. And it is immoral what is going on. And we have to be warriors and vanguards of true health. And that's what we do. We are passionate about teaching people about real health and not being sucked into a sick care system where the whole family is going to end up being drugged and have surgeries that are unnecessary and so forth. So it's exciting. I love what we do, and I love the people we do it with, like you.
Thank you. And Michelle and all those that are listening, it's a beautiful ending. Our time is up. I'm going to stop the recording, or is there, Michelle, is there anything else you would like to say at the end here? Or if someone might have a question, or do you think we should end the recording? And if you have time, Julie, or if you'd be willing to come back again?
Yeah, sure. Whatever you like.
Michelle, anything you want to add?
First of all, I would like to thank Julie for joining us. I really appreciate, as does Madeline, and I'm sure everybody else here really appreciates your time and your energy. This was a great call. Thank you so much. I would like to add that we do not make medical claims. We offer to help. We inform and educate people that, hey, guess what, guys? We're here, and this is what we're all about. Keep it simple, keep it safe, and keep it informative. Helping people to achieve a better quality of life. That's what it's all about. If anybody would like to do maybe a couple of questions, Julie, do you have another 5 minutes that you could?
I've got 5 minutes, and then I'm running out to meet someone.
Okay, awesome. Then does anybody would like to ask Julie a quick question?
Don't be shy.
I'll see if there's any in the chat here. Let me check the chat. Nope, I don't see a chat.
Well, this is Carol, and I just want to say, Julie, again, you're so vibrant and so, I have a new consultant. I don't think she made it on, but we have the recording, and everything that you spoke about will go directly to her heart, and she is effervescent like you, and well, it's just very uplifting. So I don't have a question. I just feel really uplifted and very grateful, and grateful for Madeline and Michelle as well.
Thank you so much. And thank
Fantastic.
you,
Thank
our
you,
special guest, Royal Diamond, Julie Tara, Distributor of the Year, Heart of Nikken awardee, and we're very, very proud to have you, Julie. Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
thank you, everybody,
so
for
much,
coming
everyone.
on this evening. Thank you.
Yes.
See you next week. Same time, same station next week. Thank you very much.
Thank
Good
you.
night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Come back again.